introduce myself. My name is Zara Kamila. I study at one campus in Jakarta, namely University of Muhammadiyah Professor Dr. I from Faculty of Social and Political Science, Communication Studies. So I want to tell you about loneliness. Happy watching!
Everyone feels lonely from time to time. When we don't have lunch buddies, when we move to a new city, or when there is nothing to invite on weekends. But in the last few decades, this feeling has become chronic for many people. We live in the most connected era in human story. However, some of us still feel isolated. Feeling lonely and alone is not the same thing. You can feel happy alone and feel sad when surrounded by friends. Loneliness is subjective, depending on personal experience. If you feel lonely, then you are needed lonely. There is a stereotype that loneliness is not only experienced by people who do not want to communicate or act to others. But population-based studies show that social abilities do not show any difference for adults in social relationships. Anyone can be lonely. Wealth, fame, power, looks, social skills, and a good personality, nobody can protect you from loneliness because it is a part of your body biologically. Loneliness is a bodily performance like hunger. Hunger makes you pay attention to your physical needs. Loneliness makes you pay attention to your social needs. Your body cares about your social needs because millions of years ago, it was a great indicator of how likely you are to survive. Natural selection presents our ancestors. If they collaborate and build connection with each other, our brains develop more and more instinctively sensitive to recognize what other people think and feel and to form and maintain social bonds. Being socialized is part of our biology. You are born into a group of 50 to 150 people who will usually be with you until the end of their lives. Getting in a car is staying safe and comfortable or taking care of sparring cannot be done alone. Together means to survive, being alone means death. Then getting along well with your important according to your ancestors, the most dangerous thing in survival is not eaten by a lion, but it doesn't get a social scan from your group and is alienated. To avoid it, your body uses social pain. This kind of pain is a voluntary adaptation to the rejection of such an early warning system. To immediately stop behaving in such a manner that make you isolated. Ancestors who feel rejection as something that hurts will be more likely to change their behavior when they are rejected and then they in their tribe. While those who will not be excluded and usually die. That is why rejection hurts and even more so why is loneliness painful. The mechanisms that have connected us so far have worked well for most of our history, until humans began the new civilization. The lonely epidemic that we often encounter now actually started from the end of Renaissance. Western culture began to put pressure on individuals. Scholars were separated from medieval collectivists, while young Protestant theologies emphasized personal responsibility, a theme that continued to develop during the Industrial Revolution. The community left their village and fields to enter the factory. The community has been around for hundreds of years, starting as a wall. While cities are developing as our world becomes more modern, this trend is growing faster. Now we travel a great distance for work, love, and new education and leave our social network. We meet fewer people in person and no longer see him often in the past. Almost everyone falls into chronic loneliness accidentally. You each adult and are busy with work, university, romance, children, and Netflix. The reason is because there is not enough time. The most convenient and easy way to scrape is time with friends until you wake up and they realize that you feel isolated. When you miss from close friendship, but it turns out it's hard to find close relationship as in adult. And that's why loneliness can become chronic. Meanwhile, humans admire things that like iPhone and spacecraft. Our body means are essentially the same as when were 50, 100 years ago we are biologically accustomed to being with each other. Large-scale research has shown that the stress created from chronic loneliness is one of the most unhealthy things that we feel as humans. It makes you get older faster, It makes cancer more deadly, Alzheimer's develops faster, your immune system weakens. Loneliness is twice as dangerous as obesity and is as deadly as smoking a pack a day. And the most dangerous thing about him is when he has become chronic. It can keep him going. Physical and social pain is a common mechanism in your brain. Both feel like a threat, and hence social pain brings us defense behavior. When pain hits you, when loneliness becomes chronic, your brain is immediately in self-defense mode. Your brain starts seeing danger and is hostile everywhere. But before all that, some research shows that if you are lonely, your brain is more responsive and aware of social warnings. And at the same time, your brain is getting worse at interpreting it correctly. You pay more attention to other people but less understood about it. Part of your brain recognizes phase out of harmony and more often treat natural phases as a threat, which makes him distrust the people. Loneliness makes the worst assumption about what other people mean to you because the world they perceive is full of threats. You will be selfish to protect yourself, which makes you look clear, unfriendly, socially discredited than it really is.
Okay guys, I think this is only from me. Bye bye.